Chapter 4. The Elephant and the Cassowary Bird. The baby elephant wasn't out of place in our home in North India, because India is where elephants belong. And in any case, our house was full of pets brought home by grandfather, who was in the forest service. But the cassowary bird was different. No one had ever seen such a bird before. Not in India, that is. Grandfather had picked it up on a voyage to Singapore, where he had been given the bird by a rubber planter, who had got it from a Dutch trader who had got it from a man in Indonesia. Anyway, it ended up at our home in Dehra and seemed to do quite well in the subtropical climate. It looked odd like a cross between a turkey and ostrich, but bigger than the former and smaller than the latter, about 5 feet in height. It was not a beautiful bird, nor even a friendly one, but it had came to stay, and everyone was curious about it, especially the baby elephant. Right from the start, the baby elephant took a great interest in the cassowary, a bird unlike any found in the Indian jungles. He would circle round the odd creature and diffidently examine with his trunk the texture of his stumpy wings. Of course, he suspected no evil, and his childlike curiosity encouraged him to take liberties which resulted in an unpleasant experience. Noticing the baby elephant's attempt to make friends with the rather morose cassowary, we felt a bit apprehensive. Self-contained and sullen, the big bird responded only by slowly and shyly raising one of its powerful legs, in the meantime gazing into space with an innocent air. We knew what the gesture meant. We had seen that treacherous leg raised on many occasions, and suddenly shooting out with a force that would have done credit to a vicious camel. In fact, camel and cassowary kicks are delivered on the same plan, except that the camel kicks backward like a horse and the bird forward. We wished to spare our baby elephant a painful experience and led him away from the bird. But he persisted in his friendly overtures, and one morning he received an ugly reward. Rapid as lightning, the cassowary hit straight from the hip and knee joints, and the elephant ran squealing to grandfather. For several days he avoided the cassowary, and we thought he had learnt his lesson. He crossed and recrossed the compound and the garden, swinging his trunk, thinking furiously. Then, a week later, he appeared on the veranda at breakfast time in his usual cheery, childlike fashion, sidling up to the cassowary as if nothing had happened. We were struck with amazement at this, and so, it seemed, was the bird. Had the painful lesson already been forgotten? And by a member of the elephant tribe noted for its ability never to forget? Another dose of the same medicine would serve the booby right. The cassowary once more began to draw up its fighting leg with sinister determination. It was nearing the true position for the master kick, kung fu style, when all of a sudden the baby elephant seized with his trunk the cassowary's other leg and pulled it down. There was a clumsy flapping of wings, a tremendous swelling of bird's wattle, and an undignified getting up, as if it were a floored boxer doing his best to beat the count of 10. The bird then marched off with an attempt to look stately and unconcerned, while we at the breakfast table were convulsed with laughter.